Oh, no win in 5 for Blackburn. We've lost the last 3. We're still only 5 points away from the playoffs. So people saying this is done and dusted, you need to have a word with yourself. That's the view of some Rovers fans. Other Rovers fans are saying the next home game, we should abandon going into the stadium at all. We'll get Mark, Tom and Jason's view on all of that on the latest episode here of Where Rovers Walk. We're also looking at the next 8 games. How many points will Rovers pick up, and is this still on? It's difficult to know where to start here, fella, because I feel for you. You've been so optimistic and so brilliant on here, week on, week out, and it just feels at the wrong moment yet again. You've been here before, I know. Rovers just fall apart. I mean, Tom, how are you feeling watching this unfold before your very eyes?
I try and be positive. I really do. It's been difficult. I'm not going to lie. I mean, as you know, myself, Mark, and Jason, we talk daily about Rovers. I talk to them all, my family, about this, and it's just one of them where something's just gone wrong. And ever since John Eustace left, the wheels have just kind of fell off, and he's now getting Derby to play and all sing from the same hymn sheet, and we've not really got any sort of direction. We haven't got a game plan. We look at, all over the place. The players that were doing everything so well for so long, it's almost like they've forgotten how to play football. They're working hard. You can't really fault that. Some of the players like Dolan, you can see he is working hard for the team, and there is that want to try and create something, but there's so many mistakes creeping into the game. Sloppy passing, the basics that aren't there. There's poor attitude from some of the players. It's like all that hard work that John Eustace put in over the last year has just been undone in the space of 3 weeks. So as Mark and Jason will attest, the fan base right now are very much in the negative mindset of where to go forward, and it's a bit concerning that we've dropped off once again.
Hostile, I would say, is the Blackburn Rovers social media at the moment, and not in a kind of angry way, in a kind of volcanic way. I would suggest. Here's a few tweets, which I'm sure you've all seen. Clark says, last 3 games we've played the 20th, 21st and 22nd place teams, and we got 0 points. This club pulls you in and spits you out. Yet I'll still be at Portsmouth next game. Players have given everything, and they are dead on their feet. This club is rotten from the top. Mark, this one says, I welcome administration if it means we get rid of this virus called Venky's and its filth maggot. And just said, tricky on this, Mark. Where do the club go from? Where do the fans go from here? I mean, we've heard about protests and sit-ins or not turn-ups, and do you feel powerless as a fan?
Yeah, definitely, and I think we've felt powerless for the last 14 years, ever since this ownership took over the club, and it's just history repeating itself. As we've said, it's year on year on year. And we get ourselves in a great position, and we just completely fall away. And the thing is, for me, there's no communication from the club at all. You don't hear from any of them now. Gestead came in the summer. I don't think we've had anything from him at all. I think at least Greg Broughton used to do a few interviews in that last season. So there's nothing coming out to explain what's been happening or, why decisions have been made. So yeah, you do feel powerless as a fan, because I think most of us fans, I think we can't see anything changing soon. That's the thing. Nothing's changed over this last decade and a half. What's going to change now? So obviously people are angry. People are looking at doing different things, like you said. Let's empty Ewood for the Middlesbrough game, etc. And people are just trying to get the message across, but unfortunately, whatever we do as a fan base, it'll just go on deaf ears. So there's not really much we can do about it. It's just I think it's a really sad story, because I think there's more and more fans that have supported the club for many, many years that are just going to end up turning their backs, not with new season tickets. You'll see attendances plummet again. Disappointing, very disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, just how big a impact would actually a boycott have, Jason? I mean, we're talking about millionaires here, aren't we? And people are saying, well, let's not boycott it, but let's actually just not buy any merchandise or anything from the food stands or anything like that. But realistically, how would that drive a message home, do you think?
I think it'd have to be en masse. I think the numbers would have to be high. And I mean, what did we have? 13,500 on Saturday, 400 away fans. Are you going to get 13,000, 10,000 people on board with that? I just don't think you are. I think we're all annoyed, but we all still turn up every game, and it's that hope, and it's just football what it gives you. It's a new week, new game, 3 points can change your mentality. And that's what it is with Rovers at the moment. I think it is a mentality thing with the players. Because I thought we were all right Saturday. I don't think it was best performance we've had for 3 or 4 games. I thought we did. We just silly mistakes. But I think the number. I don't think we could get the numbers for it to have the effect we want it to have. You're not going to get 10,000 people behind that. Not 10,000 people who go to every home game. You're just not going to do it. I think if you started building a bit of a following towards it, got a couple of thousand behind it, people will jump on it because it looks like a movement. But you're not going to get the entire fan base to get on board with something like that. So we're back to what Mark said, that you're just powerless as a fan. You feel like you can't do anything. Would standing outside the executive suite waiting for them to come out do anything? Just doesn't do anything. For me, it's the governing bodies that need to get involved. Any fit and proper tests that these owners passed years ago are well expired, and they've proved to be wrong. So we need the backing of the government, the media, the big media, the EFL, the FA. We need everybody to get behind them. So for me as a fan, I don't think anything we do would matter personally.
Okay. Let's switch gears a little bit here, Tom, then, and talk about other people that fans are blaming. And Valérien Ismaël is coming in for it a little bit. James here says he's a fraud. I guess there's a fraud as well. All the hard work Eustace did creating a connection between the fans and the players, completely obliterated after 4 games by Ismael. Also just said he was going to be transparent. Has he? No. No, he hasn't. Okay, I think jury's now fine to kind of have a look at Ismael, isn't it? Watford fans say we did try and warn you. What have we learned about your manager, and is the stickies getting fair?
Again, it's hard because it has only been 5 games, and we have had a few key players go out injured, which hasn't helped. You can see the game plan has changed slightly, and we play it a lot more wide now, and we tend to be a bit more direct down the wings, getting the balls in. But I don't know, it's just the mentality seems to have shifted. And I know some of the key players we had were very close to John Eustace. And I think they felt quite aggrieved and a bit sour as to how it all left, which does concern me because it's a massive attitude thing. So these players are on big wages, they're on good money playing for Rovers, and they don't really seem to get what it means at the moment to us and how we've been through this so many times. It's just not going. It's just not going for us. And Ismael just seems to stand there on the sideline. There's no real presence. He makes the same substitutions on the hour mark. He's very reactive at the moment rather than proactive, I think, at the moment. It's hard to judge someone after 5 games because he's still learning the players. He's still getting under the table, but. I don't know, Dean Whitehead as well, he came out with an interview and said that he took the job because he lives in Manchester. And you're thinking, well, that's not the best reason to take a job. That's not filling me with confidence. He does an interview and he comes across being quite boring and there's no real personality there. He wouldn't inspire me to want to play. I just don't know what we're going to do moving forward. We've got, 8 games really. And, a month ago we were 5 points clear of 7th place. And now we're 5 points off 7th place. And I can't see any way of getting any points, let alone a win anytime soon. So it is a bit doom and gloom. The boys here know that I try and be as positive as I can. And I always try and think we're going to win. but of late it's kind of getting me down a little bit. I don't know what's going to go on. Reports.
I feel sorry for you sometimes, Tom. You're that positive, and I'm thinking, come on, Tom, put the beer down and let's get it. You know what I mean? But there's no inspiration from the side. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's have a look at the 8 games then. 4 at home. Mark, let's go through the home games with you. Middlesbrough, Sheffield Wednesday, Millwall, and Watford. Now, they are all teams which, to be honest with you, by the time you play them, could be out of it and have not much to play for. Yeah. So if you can just go on a little bit of a run here, it's not done and dusted.
No, not yet. I think we still need one more win to be definitely safe. But no, in all seriousness, I think yeah, like I said, football's a funny game, and it can just take one result, can't it? But football's not played on paper, is it? And like you said, you look at Middlesbrough, they're fighting for the playoffs. Sheffield Wednesday still looking all right, decent side under Danny Rowe. Millwall have improved under Alex Neil, and then obviously you've got Watford last home game of the season. So I don't know, and as I said, I think Cardiff look to a home banker normally on Saturday, and I don't think they've got the best away record, and we ended up getting beat. So who knows? As I said, I think the international break. I hate international breaks, but I think actually I really look forward to this one coming round, because I think we just all need a rest and a break from it. So, but yeah, we'll just have to see. Yeah.
And then these away games, Jason. Portsmouth is tough. Luton will be tough. Sunderland, I mean, they're not playing very well at the moment. And then the last game of the season is quite interesting, because Burnley might need a favour from you. I doubt they're going to get it, though.
And I'll be honest, I can't see us winning it. I can't see us winning any of them away games. I think Luton's probably our best shot. I think Portsmouth, although I think they lost against Plymouth last time at home, but Portsmouth, I would expect to go and lose that down there. I just would. We're not taking anything into the game to make us think we can. To make us think we can ride on the back of something other than our best performance in a few games. But that's about it. We made 2 mistakes. They had 2 chances. They put 2 crosses in the box to score both goals. Portsmouth's game plan's going to be very, very simple, isn't it? Get it wide, cross the ball in. These men can't defend for toffee. So, and I can't see us getting points away from home. I think we're going to have to rely on our home form. But I think it's done with now. I just think there's teams around us. I mean, you look at Coventry, who were on a good run, got beat, and you thought, well, that's them got it, and then go and beat Sunderland 3-0. So we don't have that bounce back teams around us have, and that's the problem.
Okay. Right then, join us next week because whilst there's no football to talk about, we are sort of talking about the 2 players out of contract and do they get new deals, and we're also talking about the loan players as well, what happens with them. So join us for our video next week. Thank you very much, you 3. I'm sorry we're not talking in more upbeat terms, but we can still do this. I'm positive for you. It's not all over yet. Join us next week. Don't forget to press subscribe and like if you're just finding this Rovers content. We love making it for you. Cheers for now.